is a marker board, obviously, and it has some dried up writings on it that are pretty hard to erase with a standard marker pen eraser. Yes, I know that getting a cleaning solution would be an option, but that would be too easy. And besides, cleaning solutions have been quite hard to find lately. So I tried to look for alternative solutions, and I found one. In fact, that alternative solution seems to be a pretty good solution in not only removing the old markings, but also in restoring the surface of this marker board. And if you have been looking around the screen here, you may have noticed this little can. Yes, it is what it looks like, and if you guessed wax, then you are correct. It is a car wax, a super hard shell. I'm not going to mention names, but I guess the container could speak for itself if you're familiar with car waxes. And this is what I found to erase the marker board. How did I come up with this, of all things, a car wax? Well, to cut the long story short, I was washing my car the other day, and as I was polishing it using this, it dawned on me that the marker board, this marker board, the surface is shiny and the material is metal, and my car's body is kind of similar. So I kind of put two and two together, and that's the story. This little guy here, I got it at an automotive parts store. I paid about $8, which is not too bad considering it contains quite a bit of wax. A little plastic cover, an applicator, but I'm not going to use this for the board. I'm going to save this for the car. And another lid to keep the wax from drying up. And smells like fresh, hard-shelled wax. In case you're wondering how it looks like, it's jiggly and it's wax. So here is the plan. The plan is, instead of this applicator, I'm going to use this old rag from one of my old t-shirts. It's cotton, some quite nice. Step 1 is to apply a thin coat all over the marker board. This would allow the wax to lift up the ink. And step 2 is to erase the ink. Of course, step 3, after erasing the ink in step 2, the remaining wax on the board would need to be kind of buffed out. And then step 4, optionally, would be to apply some more wax to the board. Not too much, just a thin amount, to coat it all over, nice and even, and to wait for about a minute or so for the wax to dry up before buffing it out. Of course, after step 4, the board would look clean, but here's the trick. The trick is not to start using the erasable markers on it immediately after buffing the board up in step 4, but instead to leave the board, I would recommend overnight. Somehow it seems to harden up the coat and make the resulting surface on this marker board to be extremely erasable marker friendly. That overnight time is well worth it. So, super hard shell car wax. My old rag wax. Let's see if it works. I'm dabbing little tiny bits all over. Okay. Applying the wax. I'm not buffing it out, I'm just applying the wax. So it's pretty much nice and even, more or less, on the surface. I like to use round motions, but it's up to you. Round motions seem to spread it in a more uniform manner. Looks like we have enough wax on the surface. So I'm going to close the lid to keep the wax from drying. It's coming off. So I'm kind of pressing it somewhat firm. Not too hard, not too light, but just enough for the ink to come off the surface. Done. Not bad, huh? I have a clean piece of rag. This is the one I used just now, and this is a clean piece of rag. There is still some residue of wax on the board, and I'm using this clean piece of rag to remove it. Using a clean piece of rag like this one also minimizes the chances of the old ink from sticking back onto the surface of this marker board. Almost done. Doesn't have to be perfect. Looks pretty good to me. So there, the board has been successfully erased, and at this point I would recommend leaving this board kind of overnight before using it. It has been over 10 hours since we applied wax, so it's time to find out if the trick with the wax works. Erasable marker on erasable marker board. Alright. What should I write? I should write testing. We are testing. TESTING. Here. Pardon the handwriting. Alright. Now for the moment of truth. Erasable marker pens. Eraser. Looks like it works. This is it for now. Project well done, and thanks for viewing.
Your